Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with the second part of the painting of this guy, the Chaos Hero from the Silver Tower. In the previous part I did all the base coats plus the washes. So if you go to the first part you will see how I do all this, the preparation for this part now. So now we are going to start doing the highlights, details and other things that we need to do on this guy. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to apply a little bit another wash, but this time is I will use Carlsberg Crimson, and I will use this on the scars that this guy have on his body. This will make me also will add a little bit of reddish pinkish tone to the skin that will help to add some tone variation. For example, here on this scar here we are going to apply just a little bit of Carlsberg Crimson. Okay, we are going to apply as well here on this one here on the okay. Then we look. The other part I want to do a little bit more of, and this is going to be more just to enhance the previous wash we did. We are going to apply a little bit of reddish tone here on the torso. Okay, this will help to reinforce the previous wash that we did. Also, adding a little bit of red will help to add some tone variation on the skin. So I like to put this on the recesses of the muzzles. Now we are going to pinpoint the part where we want to add red. We can put a little bit of red here. Okay. Here we have another scar. And put here on the arm. This is too red, for example, so we want to eliminate. We don't want to go deep red. We want to go more, give a rose and pinkish tone. So we have to be careful when we apply this wash. Okay. And if we apply this in very little amounts, this will dry quite fast. Okay. I'm going to apply a little bit more here to add more depth here on this part of the torso. And again, as I said, try to avoid that it's too evident the red. So now one thing that I will do first, before doing the skin tone, I will paint the metal inside here. I will use quite a dark metal. Oops. I'm using lead belcher. Okay, lead belcher, and what I want to do is just paint here. And we are going to apply a little bit of wash. And here, this was something that I missed when I was in the base colors. It's quite normal to miss some of these small details. Realize that I have the brush is a little bit open. thing I'm realizing is this guy is wearing a ring, so we are going to paint the ring using I will use to paint the ring Retributor armor. And it's because I want to have these things fixed before doing all the highlights on the skin tone. Because it's very easy, as you can see there, to dirten a little bit. The skin. Okay. And now one thing that helps to show this off, also here, I'm going to use a little bit of here Noon oil. Like when you have these small details and you want to drive some contrast with the and some definition, so the way to do it is you apply quite a dark case Noon oil because it's metallic. You apply quite a dark wash around this detail, okay? And then on the ring I will apply a little bit of Agath Airshade. Okay. Just as you can see, I go to the border. The purpose is just to add a little bit of Agath Airshade along the ring, and this will help to pop up the color. We don't touch this area now, we wait this area is drying, and we are going to start doing the first highlight. And I will use now Kislev Flash, okay? I will start highlighting the skin. Well, let's do one thing that I do before highlighting, sorry. I will do the Ace, and then to do the Ace I take Abaddon Black, okay? And I will paint the Ace with Abaddon Black. One side. Something like that. Okay. Now I will use white. We'll wait that this dries completely, and while I'm waiting that this dries, I will do I will do another thing. I will take again Agath Airshade, and I will put a little bit Agath Airshade in the mouth. The mouth always go for dark color, dark brown, black. Never go for red. Red is not working in the mouth. The mouth, if you look, always is looking dark. Okay, so we just want to okay. I'm going to use no white, the ace. I will go into the ace socket. And you want to leave the blank around, so you want to play really the white. Touching the shoulder pad with the brush. This is why, the reason why, if I can, sometimes I try to do the faces unglued, because once you have glued, you're limiting the access. That case was not feasible because the face is part of the main body, so, but if you can, I try to keep sometimes the face unglued. So now we are going to go back to Abaddon Black. And we do the middle of the A. Okay. This should be okay. And now we are ready. I do this before because I want to. This is it's usually that you make a mistake and you put black out of the A part. So it's better to do the A's first. And now we are ready to start highlighting. And the first highlight we are going to do on the skin is, as I said, with Kislev Flesh. Okay. So I will. Yeah, my Kislev Flesh is too dry. Just 1 minute. So if it happened like me that the paint was too dry, what I do is I put a little bit of water and just shake it very well, and the paint, yeah, don't throw away the pot, so you can recover the paint if it's not if it's not massively dry. But if you see that the paint is starting a little bit too thick, just add some droplets of water. I also put a piece of metal inside to help on the shaking. That's all. So what I'm going to do now is, as you can see, I apply Kislev Flesh and I highlight the head. I want to go for quite pale skin, leaving the recesses with. We are going to do the second highlight later on. Here on this scar, we pinpoint the scar, and then we try to make thinner the red that we applied before, but we have to leave some red around. Okay, we want to apply here the chin, and I will apply a little bit here. Yes, the lip we can leave it darker. The bottom lip we can leave it darker. I'm going to apply here. Okay. And we are going to do the same for the rest of the body, of course. So I'm going to apply, for example, here on this part. We want to leave the shade that we applied on the recesses, but we want to highlight the skin. Okay. Now we see that the white we apply is helping us to give the definition we need on the musculature. It happens like here that sometimes you go on an area that it should be darker. We can use this color, Tusk Fur. Okay, it's quite a dark color. It's almost a terracotta color. I put a little bit on my brush, thin it down, and you can add a little bit. Okay. So I will keep doing, as you can see. I will do another example here. Here, for example, on the side, we just do that. I want to do this. On the side of the dominoes. Okay. So it's, yeah, now it's a question of patience and this is the first highlight, and we are going to do the second one later on. Again, here on this scar, first we apply very carefully there. Now we do the musculature. Okay. And here. So I guess you get the idea. So I will keep doing the rest of the skin and I come back. So once the flesh highlight is done, okay, I'm going to do a second highlight using flat one flesh. I keep just Kislev flesh in front of me in case I need to do some cleanups. This color is quite bone color, and you want just to apply in some, just on some strategic parts. So the scars is one thing that I will go for. For this one, this will make the scar pop up. Doing this here. Here, for example, on the head, we just apply a little bit of highlight. Okay. This same highlight is going to be used on the hair. So I'm going to do something like that on the hair. And I will do this at the same time I'm doing the skin. Remember, this was the base color, but we did 2 washes on the hair. We did Darkoath, well, first Seraphim Sepia, and then we applied Darkoath Air Shade to make the deepest shades on the blonde. So now I really go for very pale blonde. So we want to just I just want to pick some hairs and give some extra dimness, and then I will do the same on the musculature. So I guess on the hair you get the idea. Then on the musculature, what we are going to do, for example, on this big muscle here, I'm going to go next to here and I will follow the shape of the musculature, and I will do an extra highlight like that. Here we have the scar. We pop up the scar, and then I will do the same. So I go here, and I just follow the musculature. Here I apply it a bit. On this part, let's do here. Okay, and then here, go by here, and something like that. Okay. We want to use this color with measure. We don't want to put too much. For example, this is musculature is the easiest way, and this will break as well when a big, for example here on the back, that we have this big muscles we are going to apply here. Then on this one we are going to apply a little bit like that. Okay. And we are going to do the scar. Here and then here I forgot before, so something like that. The hands is important. We touch this part. Okay. So I guess at this point, for example, this is another example where I will do something like this. Well, touch this one, then here I will just touch a little bit. Okay. On these things that are bone, we are going also to highlight the bone with the same, with Flight 1 Flash. This was the base color we use for doing all the washes, and you can see we are going to highlight these bones with the same color. Going for very earthy brownish colors on all the miniature. Even the red, once we do the wash with Darkoath shade, also goes into that tonality. Now we will highlight following the same type of criteria. Okay, we are going to use quite neutral colors on all this barbarian. So I will keep doing that. Same here. I will keep doing that. I will highlight the bone parts, the hair. The hair we need to highlight it more. It's too. Okay. Okay, so I will keep doing that, and I come back once this is done. So this is how the skin is looking like now that I finished the highlights, also the hair. Okay, and the next step that I'm going to do is I'm going to start highlighting this brown now, and I will use to do that scrag brown. Okay, and what the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ribbon by ribbon, or one by one, and I will pinpoint them with the paint. You in the middle and you. Okay. Here on the sword, we are going to do the same. These things you have to be patient. I don't think you can do it with the dry brush. I mean, it's not a technique that is working, because you easily go into the slot between these things. And then I will do the one here. And here. Okay, we'll keep working on these light ones. I will use now Death Cloud Brown. It's a little bit lighter. Okay, more orangey, and we are going to keep adding here. something like that. Okay, and then here I will add a little bit as well. Okay. Now I'm going to do the red. Okay, to do the red I will use again coral red. Let me find the corn red. So I'm going to use corn red and I'm going to use Mephiston red. First we'll start with corn red. And we are going to highlight on the red parts. So well, I'm going to do here a little part, just to show you as an example. Okay. So I do this with corn red. You can do a little bit in the middle, something like that. I'll do another one here. I want to be careful that I don't dirt this. Okay, I will do this half of the tabard. We do the bottom. Okay, something like that. Okay. Now I'm going to use Mephiston red, which is a lighter red. And I will add a second highlight. This one doesn't need to go everywhere. Example, this one we want it to go completely. Okay. Okay. And then I will use as the last one Evil Sun Scarlet. This much lighter red. It's a little bit orangey. And I just add it. And I think this is good enough. I will take a little bit of, again, corn red, mixed with a little bit of Mephiston red. I will add this thing. So this is how I will do the red. So I will keep doing all the red. I think I'm missing is something like that. Okay. So I will keep doing all the red like that, and I come back once this is done. So now the red is done, and I'm going to start doing the highlights on the gold. I will apply again Retributor Armor, and we are going to apply this on the different gold or brass ornaments. Okay, so we are going to apply, for example, here. Here on this type of skull. here. Okay. So we highlight when to leave. So we want to increase the brightness because when you apply the wash, the metallics are very dull after the wash, and I tried the glossy ones and they don't do the right job. So in some parts where by accident I illuminate a little bit the wash, I'm going to use now Seraphim Sepia. Then back here, I don't like how I did this part. I will add a little bit of Seraphim Sepia here in this part. And I will do the same here. Okay, to be sure that I keep the shades. Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes it's needed to go with the previous color and do some cleanup. Some, I will say, repair some mistakes. So now I'm going to use Auric Armor Gold. Let's see if I zoom in a little bit more. And with Auric Armor Gold, we are going to do a second level of highlights. Okay. Right. Not touching the rivets because I will do them with silver. We want to add then in that path we go to the edge. We really want to go to the top of the sword here. Okay. And finally, I'm going to use speed metal. It's a very nice metallic from scale 75, very thin pigment size, and it helps to add this additional brightness to the gold. So this is the color we are going to use on the rivets and on some of the corners like this one. So on the rivets I will change to brush. These rivets are really small and a little bit of challenge to point. Okay. Okay, and then we do here a little bit on the top. So it's like adding bright points, and then if it's a little bit too thick, we use the gold. Okay, put some here as well. We want to add a little bit this thing on top of these things. Here on this skull, on top of the here. Now I'm going to use auric armor gold to do some other parts. Okay, and we want to highlight here a little bit the teeth. Then I go with auric armor gold. I touch it again. So we want to increase the resolution of the skull. We would say to make it more evident. We are going to do this rivet here. Okay. Again on this thing on the side. This one. And when we press here, I find that I take again Seraphim Sepia. I'm just going to add a little bit here. Okay. Be careful with the new pots of ink, of wash I mean. Then here on the side, we don't need to forget the sides. have to follow the sides. Okay, so now the gold is looking better. I forgot a small part of gold here. We can just highlight with origami gold. It's a small, very small score here. But I do it also in gold color. Okay, now I'm going to do the fur. This fur that is just below the arm, the shoulder blades, around the boots. And what I'm going to use now is, I will use first again Godor blue. I will go for this one. I will use Beneblade brown, that is this type of brown bluish color. Okay, and what we want to do is we want to start touching the hairs. The trick is not to apply too much pressure. Just as a touch with the brush. Okay. This can be a little bit time consuming. Right. But if you do it in that way, the result will be cleaner than doing dry brush. And as we have done some of the details around, we are not risking to mess up. So I will do this on the fur, like you have seen here. I'm going to use the same, to do the same on the boots. Okay, on the fur of the boots, as it is longer, and so we only apply like that. If you miss just one of these hairs, it's not a big deal, because this type of fur or hairy things, not all are going to be equal. So I will do that. Here at the back is easier to show. We show a little bit more, and then I will do the rest of camera. But what I mean is, okay, let's go here. I put this one, for example, this one. Go and I do something like that. This one, like that. I guess at the point you get the idea. Okay. So the idea is to go hair by hair and highlighting them. So I will do that for the rest of the full parts, and I come back. So I arrive at this point. Now I'm going to work on the metal. You see the fur is looking right. I think it's good enough. Now I'm going to work on the metal, and I will use some scale 75 colors, because I really look for a fine metallic, and I think scale 75 give the very fine metal that I'm looking for. So I'm going to use heavy metal from a scale 75, and this will give me the brightness that I need. Okay, and I will have as well a little bit of black metal that is very dark, and it's just in case I see that the color changes too high, I will add a little bit of black metal. We need to really shake it well, these colors. Okay, and a little bit of black metal. And maybe later on, if needed, I will use again a little bit of non-oil. Okay. So this is how the colors look like. This is one of the metallic and this is the other one. Okay, the black metal. I'm not too concerned if they mix a little bit here on the palette. And I'm going, for example, to start with the axe. And what I'm going to do first is to go through this part of the axe. Then I will do the edge. Okay. And we are going to do this like that. This is why I want to use a little bit of the black metal, because then we want to use the black metal just this part of the axe. The edge should look nice and sharp, so normally the edge of the metals, they cannot look rusted, because it's the part that is, yeah, it's working, and then the rust is going away when they cut or when they are used. Okay, and then we are going to pinpoint. This is really not the right. You see, this will help a lot on the metallics. I will take another brush and I will point this type of rivets. Okay. Then we are going to do as well this part. So we want to do this, this, this. On this, for example, on this part, on this thing that has these spikes, we are going to highlight all the spikes. And we are going to paint a little bit the edge. We take this out of here. Okay, and here a little bit over as well. Okay, the blade maybe is going to be one of the trickies, the most difficult part to do. The sword, the blade of the sword. So we are going to do this, and then going to do this. And by doing that, Okay. And we are going to do the same on the other side. I will do a little bit of example of edge part, and then I will do the rest of camera, but you can imagine that we do this quite symmetrical, and then we will do the other part. Okay, again. Why I'm doing this is because I don't want really a clean edge. I think in the axe I will do the same. On metal look more natural if this edge is not that clean. This will represent, so this will simulate a little bit. For example here, we can do the same. Okay. As we did too much too thick this one, we can take the black metal. We can go in the opposite direction. I did not mix well the black metal. This is the reason why it's not that consistent. This is scale 75. If you don't mix them well, then you have this type of problems. The color is not covering well. Let me put a little bit more of black metal. Now it's better. Okay, and then I'm going to use the black metal just here, and I will follow a little bit, something like that. And then on the other side, I will not do it, so it's just one side of the blade. Okay, we will do the same on the other side, but I will do this off camera, of course. So here on this part of the armor, what we want to do, I will first add a little bit, we can mix it a little bit, the black, to avoid that it's so bright. We can mix a little bit of the black metal with this, with the heavy metal, and then this will make a much darker color. As you can see, what I'm doing is just instead of following the shape, I'm doing like very small short strokes. This will give more of rough finishing. This shoulder plate is quite battered, so we don't really want this to look clean. Now we are going to add a little bit of bright here on this part. Okay, I start mixing about 50-50 with black metal, and then I put a little bit more of the heavy metal from scale 75. I don't want to go too bright. Does not seem that he's doing a lot of maintenance on his equipment. Okay, and then here on the edge, the same technique. I'm going like that. And on this part I will do the same. First I start with darker color, then in the middle we can apply the brighter, but just a little bit. Okay. The one that is going to be tricky is this thing here. What we are going to do on that thing is no one using just spin metal. We'll do this here. What will work the best, this is quite a rough finishing, and we can try to do a dry brush there. So we will take a brush that is quite soft. Okay. And we are going to dry brush. Right? We can do the same a little bit here on the shoulder pad. As this is quite a flat area, let's take a brush. We are going to dry brush with the heavy metal. Okay. Applying very little pressure. And in that case, the dark brush will help to give this rough finishing that I was looking for. You can do, to be fair, I could be done the same. Indeed, I will do the same on the blade to give this rough finishing on the axe. So we are going to go from the edge to inside. Okay, you see, you will have this here as well. I think we'll give this nice rough finishing. We're going to do the same on the blade. On the blade again. This is because it's quite an open brush and it's giving a lot of different small strokes in the same direction. So we do it like that. And then on the other side. Okay. And this will give a very nice finishing. Where I will not do that is on the handle. The handle in principle should not have this finishing. On the handle, I prefer this too light. I'm using more the black metal, and I will apply a little bit in between this, and then on the top we are going to go with this, and here that we just have a little bit of the wash went here, we clean it with the darker color. So I will do the same on the back of the sword, and I come back once all the metal is done. So this is how the metal look like once it's done. Okay, and now I'm going to first to clean here this type of these things. I don't know how to call. I will use this ruinous hide, that was the color I used before, to paint them. It's normal if you do dry brush, these small details get dirt, so you have to prepare to clean them. And I'm going to use ruinous hide to paint them back. The best way to paint them now is go with the brush almost horizontal, and just apply very little pressure. It is more tricky, but same here. This is the small leather strings that are holding this fang here. Okay. Next I'm going to use Dumble Brown. With that we are going to highlight the very dark leather. Okay. We're going to highlight here at the border of this. And to highlight also this part here. And the border on the other side. And again, I apply the same technique that I did with the metallic, because this is giving. Here we need to apply a little bit of the ruinous hide. By doing the highlights, the edge highlights, in that way it gives a rougher finishing that is matching, is working better with this guy. Okay. As you can see, I do very small strokes, brush strokes, just on the edge. Okay. We are going to do the same here on the bell. And of course we are going to apply a little bit of this. This will make this to pop up a little bit more. Okay. Okay. Don't forget the back. we use the metallic. I will use the metallic I still have fresh from before to do this small rivet here at the back. We need to change brush to do that. For the rivets you don't need, you need a very pointy brush. It's better to have a brush that is not that sharp, but will help on pinpoint these rivets. Okay. I'm going to keep this leather quite dark, but I think I will need to apply a little bit of Morphan brown to make it to have a little bit more contrast. So I will apply now Morphan brown. It's a lighter brown. Sorry. Will help me that highlight. This type of small bells are a little bit tricky to do. Using no more Renus hide just to be sure next to the metallic I have a nice and thin layer. The next I will work is on the, we'll work a little bit more on the bone colors. The two parts that are missing now is the bone colors and the boots. So for the boots I will use now, I will finish first the boots. I will use a little bit of XV88, this was the base color, and I will do a little bit of highlight. Okay. Now we will keep the XV88 because I will use it also to do the finishing touches on the bone, sorry. Okay. Okay. Now on the bone, I'm going to do especially this part, I will go to very dark here. So I will start first applying XV88. You see it's very similar to the color we already applied. Okay, now I will go with Dumble Brown, and I started from here. vertical strokes. Right. We don't have to miss the inside. It's not going to look weird. Okay. I will use now reader's height. To do more strokes vertical from the bottom. We try to leave, of course, the dumbbell bone visible. You can go higher in some points. Okay, you don't need to be regular. And now I will take from the other side a screamer school. Okay, and I will do the opposite from the top. Okay, and I will be sure that I highlight everything. This color is lighter than the one we used, that was the Flayed One Flesh. Okay, here on these teeth, we take a little bit of I will take a little bit of XV88 and I will add it at the base of the teeth. Then screamer. And finally we are going to use white, scar white, or we can also use how it's called, the color, witch flesh, that I cannot find now. I will use white. Okay, and with the white we are going to do the last highlights. Okay. And I will apply the same highlights on these small skulls that we have. This one we need to clean up this mistake first. See, you can use this to create some bright points. I will not go for color transition on these ones. You can see. Okay, and then this one, we're going to have a little bit of white on the top. On this type of horn, just a little bit on the top. Okay. And this is the work on this guy, on the Darkoath, the Chieftain, Darkoath to Darkoath Chieftain. So here we have the finished work. Okay, it's a nice miniature to paint, very enjoyable, and yeah, I wanted to play with very earthy natural colors and adding just this red on the clothes. So that's all for this tutorial. I hope you find this tutorial interesting. Here we finalize the second part and the painting tutorial on the Darkoath Chieftain. Please leave a comment below, let me know what do you think, give a like if you have liked it. As usual, thanks a lot for watching and see you again later. Bye!